Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel.
Gotta go Orlando. So everyone, today's vlog is another one of our stories from our website, gottagoorlando.com. So Shane, what is this story all about?
Before we even start this story, I just want to say we are big Disney lovers.
Yes, everyone, we are really big Disney lovers. We love Walt Disney World, all the parks, the movies, Walt Disney himself, Roy Disney, the whole family. We are like the biggest fans.
But things have been happening this week and previous weeks, which is kind of annoying the Disney fan community.
Yeah, so I really think that's a good point to obviously talk about it, see what your thoughts are. So much happening right now. Like I say, I think everyone is huge Disney fans and we're just all getting a little bit frustrated. This is very hard for me to record. I mean,
we bicker a lot about this.
We bicker a lot about this because I'm always just like...
You know, because I'm a Universal person as well.
We are
You're hardcore through and through Disney.
Yeah, we all are Disney and we're all Universal, and people say, so what's your favourite, Disney or Universal? And I feel like they're completely different parks. That's the thing, they are completely different parks, different experiences, and even the parks are completely different, the rides are completely different. So I mean, it's very hard when people say, so what's your favourite, Universal or Disney? So yeah, everyone, we're not bashing Disney or any of the Orlando theme parks. This is one of the big reasons why we wanted to move here, because there's so much to do here, and yeah, we absolutely love Walt Disney World. So, and I think everyone does. Yeah,
everyone loves Walt Disney. You know, Walt Disney World has been like the main contender of all the parks for many years. They started Orlando.
Yeah, like
in the theme parks.
Like Walt Disney himself, like he basically made Florida what it is.
My issue is, and it's been sort of since D23 really, their announcements were very blasé is the word I want to say. There was not really set in stone. And my problem is Universal, every second of every day the fourth gate is coming. It is coming, and if Disney's not actually given anything, it's like there's nothing 100% we are going to fight against this. I'm just going to put this out, I feel like they're just hoping that the people that do love Disney are just going to keep returning. The new people that are coming in, they are wanting to come and obviously see what's already there. They're not trying to push the boundaries, and that's one big thing that Disney's always been, is they've always wanted to push the boundaries. Like compared to like just say the UK market, I mean, hardly get a new ride. It's like maybe every 5 to 10 years a new ride, whereas in Orlando it's like, wow, another ride. At one point, like every year you were getting, and obviously, and I can understand the economy has changed. And I think this is a pressing point. I kind of feel like with the price hikes they've put in this week alone, everything going up in merchandise, hotels, resorts, park tickets, Genie Plus, even just down to the basic merchandise, drinks on the parks. And another thing is it's like, making them millions. They are struggling for capacity because they've not brought back all the annual passes. They've brought Pixie Dust one for Florida residents, but they've not brought any other one back. We've got a lot of UK friends that come out maybe twice a year that would still really like to. They've became Universal annual pass holders, but they still want the Disney ones because obviously it's cost them more to buy 2-week tickets and stuff like that. But it just shows you there's a problem with capacity, because if they're not bringing back those annual passes, that's obviously the reason it is. Why not start looking at building a new park or expanding their existing park? Definitely think it's something they're going to have to think about. I mean, let's face it, every year, especially after like the 2 years of basically lockdown, I mean, you think about it, next year it's going to get busier, and every year it's going to get busier and busier and busier. And like, it's getting sad because like I'm literally looking at Instagram and I'm seeing people like, oh, we were planning on going next year, but it looks like we're going to have to put it off another year. And it's just because of the cost. The people that I've talked to on Instagram, and it's sad people aren't going in that annual, like you work all year round for that nice holiday once a year, maybe the week or the 2 weeks, or for a lot of our other friends it might only get 4 days off. It's horrible when you're in the parks and you're hearing families. It was only a few weeks ago actually. You know, enjoy this, we don't know when we're going to come back. The situation is no one knows when they're going to get back. And when you looked at the family, it was a mum and dad with their 2 sons. Looking at that family, I felt bad because I was like, God, the older one is growing up. He's growing up and he won't maybe want to come back as well. They're outpricing the average family. And my argument is Walt Disney himself made Disney World for everybody. but now it's like they're turning their back on the normal working class families and saying, we only want people what's got lots of money in the bank.
And again, it comes down to a capacity. They're thinking, well, if we can only allow 20,000 people, we don't want 20,000 people spending a small sum. They want the 20,000 people to spend in big money, and the people that are coming
in the fancy restaurants,
the people maybe bring
hotels.
Maybe then the people that are coming in with their own snacks, because they're just so happy to be there and experience it. A lot of our own friends that normally come out like for like the once a year, they're not doing that now, and it's even like a lot of our American friends that come down for like the 4 days, some of them are struggling just to do that because they want to make sure they experience
it's not
everything.
like now you can go into the park and experience all the rides, because you have to now add in the extortionate Genie Plus price on top of that. It's more cost. You bought a ticket and now you're having to buy this and then buy that and you get this. It's just add-ons and add-ons add-ons, and it is getting a bit ridiculous.
Now I understand Universal do have something very similar, but they've always charged for their fast pass, and I can understand that. But Universal, even though the parks are getting really busy, they're still not at what Disney's at.
No.
At this current time, it is. When I say it's crazy, it's crazy.
Shoulder to shoulder in some areas.
Yeah.
It is like ridiculous.
No, it's amazing to see. It's so nice to see the parks busy and people having great experience. But now you're starting to see the people's faces change even within the parks. People are desperate to get on these rides. People are
queue jumping.
Queue jumping, that is getting really out. That's happening so much now, queue jumping. Just to try and grab those moments. People are having to start making bigger choices, like, and I think plan more as well. You can't just go and be like, spur the moment, oh, should we go here?
And another thing is the pricing, the way they've gone about pricing stuff, and how they've just decided, oh, tomorrow we're going to put the price up, oh, the next day it's going to go up again. No pre-warning that the prices are going up. If it's a normal family in England, they've booked their holiday, they've said, right, we're going to take this amount of money with us. You've just totally obliterated that plan in a night.
Yes, and that's another thing. We've actually had a few people asking, like, or it's even saying like they didn't realise until they got there how expensive, even out within the parks, like Walmart and Publix, everything has gone up, just like everywhere.
Orlando's changed.
Orlando has changed.
And we will be doing a vlog about how much Orlando has changed since pandemic. But this is another thing. Eating in Disney now is extortionate.
Yeah, we're seeing another thing. Another thing we're seeing, even
going back to the Disney.
Even another thing, yeah, because we'll talk. Like I say, we're going to do another vlog about how Orlando's a little bit different. But like I say, another thing that we've seen, especially in the Disney park, cosmic rays and stuff like that. Families are sharing more food. We have noticed this a lot, and you can see them in the queue. They're looking at it. Right, well, it's like couples as well. Right, babe, see, instead of us getting 2 separate burgers, why don't we just share and we add an extra fries on, and we'll get one drink, we'll get one of the big burgers, and we'll get we'll just get an extra fries, and we'll just split the burger. But like literally, they are sharing kids meals. They're getting like 2 kids meals instead of 2 big meals. Just to basically eat in the parks and enjoy the food that they love to get. You're on holiday, you don't want to be having to cook when you're in a villa, or I don't know, get food that you want to eat in the parks.
Now, I can understand to an extent the price rises because obviously the crisis of living and stuff, but what are we getting back from it? Well, at the moment there's no real hard announcement saying this is coming to Walt Disney World. Even D23 was a bit of a flop. Now my worry is even if they did announce tomorrow brand new villains area, #beyond Big Thunder Mountain, with the time frame that it's taken them to build one ride, Tron, is that going to realistically be able to be completed to compete against Epic, which is due in 25?
Now,
with a time frame.
For me right now, I really don't think anything's going to be announced anytime soon. Now, we did discuss in our previous vlog the speculation about the permit that's been put in. I mean, everyone obviously, like we even said, we're all presuming it is it is Splash Mountain, because there's no other area. They've not said they're going to invest in anything else. It's not like they're going to build another mountain here. We all know that it's coming 24, and with the way the permit looks, everything is in that 24 time frame. Like you were saying before, I don't feel like they're going to announce anything anytime soon. I mean,
well, I know we're going to get a super ship.
One thing I would say is, we've not even really discussed this, but it's been a family discussion that I've never wanted to be involved in, because it's very hard to talk about, because I'm a die-hard Disney fan. But I do feel over the last few years, even pre-pandemic, that Walt Disney World has been neglected in certain ways. I mean, we used to have the amazing nighttime parade that was then transferred over to Disneyland California. Now, they just had it for its anniversary, so why not bring back maybe a new nighttime show, because that holds up so many people. So then the back bit of Magic Kingdom at night, it sort of frees up a bit of space. I mean, then obviously it's another cancelled project on Main Street behind, at the beginning of Main Street, there was meant to be a new theatre show that was going to basically put like Broadway shows on, but for people within the park. I mean, that was slowly put back on the shelf.
It helps spread the people out.
It really does, and I think that's maybe even something they might have to think about. But like I say, I just feel like Disney has been Walt Disney World has been neglected. But
the parks are amazing. It's just, I feel like we need to be moving forwards with things. It's great saying, we're possibly thinking about doing this.
You're getting people's hopes up.
And then you're not delivering. And it's even on the small things like a blinking carousel.
Even if you look at the main hub in Epcot when you first come in at Future World, obviously it did used to have the big fountain. It was going to be like that 2-story amazing, it looked like it was going to be absolutely amazing, sculpture that was going to be there, where it was going to be like live feeds, and it was crazy. If you ever look into it, go and check it out. And then obviously that was slowly put away, and then obviously it's just going to be like this water thing, and it's going to be just like some grass area. And
I kind of feel like at the moment
I'm very confused in this area, actually.
It's like they've got this big pot of money, but they don't want to invest it back into the park, because we look at the 50th and the 40th. 50th Magic Kingdom, the 40th Epcot. What did they really do? The main ride that was meant to be opening for the 50th has been put back till spring next year.
Yeah.
So it's probably not even gonna open in the celebration period.
Yeah, and
then Epcot was nothing.
It was merch.
You got a piece of chocolate.
It was merch. The desserts were really good.
But when you look at it,
but and then obviously the merch, and now, like I say, it's just.
And again, you're making all that money on the merch. You're getting thousands of people queuing for hours to buy this merch.
I feel
and
like
you're not getting anything back.
Now, obviously, Disney is celebrating 100 years next year, and I feel like obviously they've decided that California is going to be even though it's not like Disneyland California is 100, they've decided to pick that park as the celebration park for the 100. But again, we've never visited California. It's one of our top things that we really want to do, but we feel like, no offence, but they're always getting new things, whereas Walt Disney, they need more things. It is the biggest money maker for them. It's the people.
The problem is you can see all the parks around the Walt Disney parks really heavily investing in new rides, new technology, and then the main park, what actually started all this off, is sort of like getting swallowed up by this.
Yeah, like I say, I think they need to make the decision about Beyond Big Thunder, if they're going to do it there, or if they are going to start thinking about that 5th park. Now, obviously, we know a 5th park would be obviously a lot of money, but I think the problem is with the crowds. I think they're going to have to go into that, because I mean,
I think
the crowds are just
would be amazing.
I think
to alleviate the pressure on the other parks.
Busier
and it's not like Disney can't do it, because when we look at like Galaxy's Edge, Pandora, these areas are amazing.
They are amazing areas. I mean,
you look at the theming, the level of detail. The Imagineers can do this. When
you look over the years, look at Tower of Terror, Soarin'. I mean, they did all the firsts of these kind of rides. I mean, these were the first technology. Like, they invent rides. They invent all this amazing stuff. And I just feel like, and I think a villains area would just go. It's a really good rival to the Universal Monsters. It's an amazing rival to it. But majority of the people, we all grew up watching the movies of these villains, sort of scared at the time, but we've grown to love them. Like, I mean, I used to be scared of Ursula. Now she's one of my favourite villains. Is that, like, me growing up, I just love her, like how she shakes her head. And I think it would be an amazing either extra land in Magic Kingdom or the fifth gate, the fifth park. And like I say, if the parks are going to get busier, I really do think they're going to have to do it, because I mean, even though they've got Disney Springs that sort of takes people away, it's still not big enough.
No.
When they need more.
But then I feel like you have to keep playing with this variable pricing. It's going to also deter a lot of people, which makes them think, well, there'll be less people in the park. We don't need to invest in doing anything because the crowds won't be there because we're making it so pricey.
No, 100%. Everyone, we now have an article out on our website, gottagoorlando.com. Universal is slowly creeping in, and maybe even fastly creeping in and taking over the top picks in Orlando. I mean, when we do polls quite a lot asking what your favourite parks are within Disney or Universal, and it is getting to be quite apparent, especially with the 2021 numbers, last year's numbers, that it's not the four parks, the top four parks is not all Disney anymore.
No. Well, we can look at the rating now. Obviously, Magic Kingdom's still in number one at the moment, but right behind Magic Kingdom now is Universal's Island of Adventures.
Yes, everyone, as you can see on the screen here is the top 10.
So, and then shortly after that, in free position is Universal Studios. Then it's Disney Hollywood Studios, Disneyland Park
in California.
Then it's Epcot.
That was a really surprising one for me. Number 6, that was really surprising.
Number 7 is Animal Kingdom. Again, a surprising one for me. Disney is slipping down this chart. Then it's number 8 is Universal Studios Hollywood. Then after that, you have got Disney California Adventure. And then in at number 10 is Knott's Berry Farm. Again, but like you can see, Disney used to be up in the top section, they're now spread out.
Universal, they're so close. I'm just so shocked with Epcot at 7. Because I mean, the majority of people I talk to, when I say, what's your favourite part? It's Epcot.
But I think as well with Epcot, it's a bit of a building site at the moment, so they are going to lose footfall. People don't want to go to a building site.
I actually had someone message me, are you ready for this one? Messaged me the other day and says, I am going for a pair, I can't remember the exact, sorry if you're watching it, I can't remember the exact amount of days you were there, but she said, I've got the ticket for all 4 parks. Is Epcot even worth the while? Because looking at it, I'm not. And obviously I did say, well, World Showcase is absolutely amazing itself and all the rides, and they're still not even sure. A big bit of building site in the middle, I think that's what.
And it is off-putting.
And she did say that.
And it's right at the entrance.
And it's right at the entrance.
It's like having a zit on the end of your nose.
If you really want to check out all the numbers, check out our website, gottagoorlando.com.
We're not going to go too much more about this. This is our little bit of a rant.
Nearly into 23 now. When you think about it, that's only 2 more years until Epic opens. I mean, Universal could be taking the top with Epic. Really, I always feel like Magic Kingdom's going to be the top park. But really, your 2nd, 3rd and 4th place could all be Universal.
But then when you look at like even the construction speed, like Epic, it's a full park, and like it's rising from the sand now. It is rising. We can see track, we can see buildings going in, and in almost the same amount of space of time, we've had Tron.
Yeah. Well, another point actually I would like to just bring up is 2 rides between Epcot and Islands of Adventure. There's sort of a didn't open at the same time, but they were the 2 latest rides, and that was obviously Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot, and then obviously Velocicoaster at Universal. I mean, I don't even feel that you can compare these 2 rides.
No. And there's a clear winner. There
is a clear winner. Now, obviously,
if you're talking about roller coasters, Guardians of the Galaxy for me is basically Space Mountain just a modern version of Space Mountain.
Another point that I would like to just point out, now obviously at the time before Harry Potter came into Universal were a little bit of shaky grounds. The numbers were sort of like dwindling, they weren't 100% going the way they wanted to, because obviously at that point they weren't really filming anymore in Florida, so obviously they went and obviously got Harry Potter. Now if anyone ever looks back the record, Disney was actually meant to get it. It was actually meant to, Harry Potter Land was meant to, Wizarding World was meant to be in Magic Kingdom, but talks sort of failed. Disney only wanted to put in maybe one attraction, one shop, one gift shop, and it wasn't 100% what the Harry Potter, what they wanted. So obviously then they had quite a few years talks with Universal, and then obviously they decided to go with that. But when you think about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge now, it's an amazing land, but I know a lot of people that don't like this land.
My main sort of like critique of it is, and we spoke about this yesterday, is you look at Harry Potter and you look at Galaxy's Edge, right? Now, you've made Harry Potter, it's all about the wands, the interaction, you can go around, you can cast your spells. It's really interactive, and it really immerses you.
And it's not just for kids, it's for adults as well.
Everybody, you see every age dressed in the capes, the ties, the uniform, everything. Now you go to Galaxy's Edge and it's kind of like you get a lightsaber, you get a droid, and that's it. There's nothing else, there's no interaction. Yeah, you can meet up with your friends and, you know, pretend to battle or what have you.
But don't do it because it's so expensive.
But like, once you've paid that amount of money, I kind of want to be able to take that lightsaber and do something with it. I don't know what, but there wasn't a thought process beyond the droids and you buying them and making them, and then that's it.
Like I say, these are two franchises that are amazing franchises, but it does feel like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the poor second to Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I mean, there's so much to do.
Yeah,
do you get what I mean? It's like I have to wear this.
It's a magical place. It really is. And like, I just feel like with the interaction that you get in, it just edges above the Galaxy's Edge. I feel like you're getting a bit more with Harry Potter than what you would do with Galaxy's Edge.
And like I said, I just feel like the biggest embarrassment right now is Tron. I mean, it's just so, if we've been looking forward to this ride, I feel like we've been thinking about this ride for like since we met.
By the time this ride opens, we're probably all gonna own a light cycle. I've said it a million times, you know, we're all probably going to have light cycles on our driveway, and we'll probably be flying around before this ride opens because it's taking that long.
We're not saying Universal always do it right with their rides as well. I mean, all we have to talk about is Fast and Furious. I mean, Supercharged.
Fast and pointless. Pointless. It is absolutely pointless.
Like we've discussed this.
Yeah.
We just
and I don't know how you repeat the mistake twice.
But like I say, one thing I think what they need to maybe think about for next year is obviously think about Beyond Big Thunder. I mean, let's just do an announcement. Let's, like, I understand obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, they could be thinking about the greatest thing, maybe even something better than what we're even hoping for.
And all hopes are there. I really want them to come out next year and say, do you know what? Yeah, you've got Epic for the next 2 years. That's fine. You've got Epic, but we've got this.
Yeah, and like I say, there's just so much potential. There's just so much, and like And obviously I feel like this week they sort of was like, oh, we don't have a specific date, but this November you've got Fantasmic, and like, as we're all fans, we're like, oh my god, we've got Fantasmic back. But when you sit back and you go, are they just doing that because of what they've done this week? Like I say, it's just...
And why can't they give a date? Why can't they say November the 25th?
Yeah, because I keep getting people saying, do you, like, we're going the beginning of the month, and then I've got another person at the end of the month, so I'm like, I don't know.
Are they that panicked because they haven't got the staff in place and trained to do these things, and now they're running against an uphill battle to get it done? So is it going to be late November, or even beginning of next year? Who knows?
Like I say, like we said, Walt Disney World will always be the king of theme parks, and here in Orlando, but Universal is slowly creeping up. And with the Genie Plus, you're having to get up at like 7 in the morning for like to make a reservation.
I mean, that's
like
no holiday. That is no holiday.
It's not a vacation.
You know, setting your alarm on your vacation, you've been getting up, you've been doing your 9 till 5 all year, saving every penny to go on your jollies, and then you get on your jollies, you're in your lovely hotel, and you're having to set your alarm at 6 in the morning to get up to start doing your Genie Plussing for the day.
Yeah,
it just seems ridiculous.
And with Guardians of the Galaxy, you still need a reservation to go to it. So people are having to go up at 7, then it's the stress. If you don't have it, it's that 7, around 7, 8 in the morning. Then you've got to start at 1 o'clock again in the afternoon.
And then there might be even a chance you not even get on it on your holiday.
And you're stressed all day for this one ride because you want to go on it, or your child wants to go on it, or your husband wants to go on it, or that wife wants to really go on it because she wants to see Groot. But you stress all day, whereas you can go over to Universal, you don't have to do that first park reservation, you can just go
Join the queue.
Go on your ET, go for a nice drink, go to Wizarding World.
Fall into a queue as and when you want.
And enjoy your day.
Yeah. I think the problem is with all the pricing, with all the new structures, and the way that they're outpricing the average family, they are destroying that magic. They are destroying that magic, and people are not going to experience that magic. And there's families out there what can't afford to experience that magic, what Walt Disney created for everybody to enjoy, and it's a shame. And that's my sum up of it. In just a few words, without being nasty, the way they're going is they are taking the shine and magic away from the parks.
But yeah, everyone, if you have enjoyed this vlog, make sure you subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. It would mean a lot to us.
And we are sorry for being a little bit down and out about Disney. You know, we love Disney and we'll always love Disney, but it's just, we just want things to be better. We hope to see you on our next vlog. We're sorry if you don't agree with what we've said, but drop it down in the comments down below and let's have a chat. Our opinions are our own, and we're all allowed an opinion, and it's absolutely fine if you've got a different opinion, because we're all allowed it. It's our own opinion. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and it is TikTok. Gotta go Orlando. Bye. Oh, and don't forget, we've got our Patreon as well. Get your name at the end of our vlogs. And if you've enjoyed this vlog, check out these two right here.